All right, Jeff again here, 493 Manbrin Drive North here in Kaiser. We've moved off the rooftop. We're now setting up at the neighbor's cleanout. This, again, as you face the front of this home from Manbrin, this is the neighbor directly to the right. Their cleanout's very easy to see. So our sewer line, I was just up on the rooftop there, comes out right underneath the air conditioning unit, runs pretty close to their chain link fence, turns, then starts shooting this direction. And so I've located, you know, basically where the concrete pipe was. The first locate mark you're going to see is not the entirety. I'll try and put some extra paint in there, but there's just not a lot of room to do it. There's an air conditioning unit over the top of stuff there. So just be aware, what I'm recommending is that all standing water be dealt with. So I'll go back and review the video, but it's just about from the base of the cast iron vent. So here's the Y connection. So we looks like we stopped just shy of this location. I can tell here. Anyway, there's a good reason why the neighbor went to the effort to update this line, added a different new clean out in. I would imagine this is a necessary piece of equipment here from time to time because the line's blocking up. I did turn the bathtub back on at 493. All right, there's our main connection. All right, so we're getting the water turned off here. This is one where you're gonna have to put a call into the city and find out how they want to deal with this thing out here. Because by the time the line hits the main, it ends up hitting the main in front of the neighbor's house. At first, when you see the locates, it looks like it's gonna end up more in front of 493, but it ends up in front of the neighbor's home. So in a lot of places where the line ends up crossing the curb, whatever property it does that in front of is often deemed the host line. But the city, really at the end of the day, is the ultimate authority on that. And just to condition the lines in, I'd recommend a full update. But in a scenario like this, if they won't allow for this configuration, my guess is that the home we're trying to scope here is the one that may very well have to be the one that has to run their own line and tap the main. That's my guess anyway. All right, and the line here, it looks like it shoots just right past the water meter. I believe it's the water meter for this home. There's two water meters next to each other, and we just skirted past the one closer to this home. So the line may stay on this property potentially up until right around the sidewalk area. I don't know where property lines are here. Anyway, but with the condition of the line, the standing water, the roots, the joints aren't good anymore. That's often what leads to the settling. In a lot of cases in concrete, the grout wears out. Amongst the roots can do the same thing, open the joints up. We're about 4 foot 4 inches deep here, as around 4 foot 7, 8 inches deep around where the sidewalk area is, and about 6 foot 6. That locate in the street was jumping around a little bit between 6 foot 6 and 7 feet deep. The most consistent depth I got though was between 6'6" and 6 foot 8 inches. All right, yeah, we stopped about 4 to 5 feet shy of where the Y connection is when we went through the roof vent. So anyway, I'm sure the pipe looks just like the rest of it does. It's very, very beat up old concrete pipe. It's very nice the neighbors let us use that clean out. Anyway, I've got this thing marked out here. Again, I'll try and draw it so that folks can tell, but it's tricky back there where the AC unit is to put markings down. I'll review the video to see right where that standing water starts, but it's almost immediately at the base of the vent, or pretty shortly after the line goes horizontal. So full update essentially from the zero out point out to the end of homeowner responsibility. You do definitely need to get a hold of the city in a case like this, because you know, if the city does not allow for a party line configuration to remain in place, you may very well have to run a whole new line out, tap the main, things like that. So after any repairs are done, make sure a rescope is performed to check the work. It's extremely important to do that. For your purposes, you want to make sure your rescope takes place. The best way to do it is to get bury the line, close the trenches, compact everything like you're going to pour concrete, but don't pour concrete yet. You want to put a load on the line to make sure the line doesn't settle. That way, if it does, you can dig it up easily before you put concrete over it. But if everything looks good at that point, then you can go ahead and put the hard surfaces back over it. But you want to make sure your rescope takes place when the trench is closed. Otherwise, everything you're looking at is in theory.